Hey guys, it's Camilla from Code with Camilla. Today we're going to be learning about for loops.
Okay, Kamil. So far, since the last video, we saw two typical usages of the while loop. First, when we have some condition, which may or may not never be true. So like this, when you start with some variable initialized to some value, and you at the end of the loop, you reinitialize this variable to make sure that variable might change, which will trigger this exit from this loop. So it's not going to run forever. Another type of loop, we used counters, so-called counters, to be able to run the same thing some number of times. For instance, if you want to print numbers from 1 to 10, we do, so call it counter. So we start with 1 and we say while counter less or equal 10. No, console, print it on the screen. And at this point we want to increment the counter, so this counter will increase, which creates some kind of exit condition for our loop. If we don't do it, it's going to stack forever, right? Another way, so this is another way to increment the counter. It's in C#. There is an easier way to do it. If you want to increase by 1 only, you do like this. So this counter plus is the same as counter plus 1. Okay. So it's just like easy way to write it. So now this kind of loop is used so many times, so often in many programming languages. So almost all programming languages have an easier way to do the same thing. In C#, it's called for loop. So what you do, you start for, let's leave it, okay, so we can compare. You do for, and let's call it I counter. Oh, let's call it F, it doesn't matter. F less than equal 10. So this.
Oh, so it just writes everything in the set of parentheses. Integer f equals 1, f it's less than or equal to 10, and then after it evaluates the value of f, it adds 1.
Exactly. So for, in this case, so this is the first part. This first part is called initializer. So here we create and initialize the counter variable. It could, it's just this variable, counter variable. Here we put the condition of the same condition. You see?
Yep.
And here we put this exit condition kinda. So and you see they all separated by semicolons. You don't have to have all of those parts. In fact, you don't have to have any of those parts. What you could do, for instance, if you already have the counter declared, so let's reset to 1, right? And do for skip initialization, but leave the condition and
the exit condition.
It's called iterator because it iterates, right? And do the same. So it's going to be absolutely the same.
It's just your starting values not in the for parentheses.
Yes. Or you could do if you like to type, you could move counter from the top to bottom. In that case, we just remove this one.
Then there would be no point for a for because it's the same as while.
Yeah, and we could do if counter more than 10, well, this condition is kind of unique for loop. I will tell you the way out of this one, another exit condition in the next video. But for now, you see, you can remove all the parts. What you could do, you could even do like this. This is called infinite loop. So this is your way to do infinite loops. Say I run forever. You want to run it?
Okay. Oh wow.
So it's gonna run on forever because
Because
this
you
is
don't have an exit condition.
because we don't have an exit condition. Exactly. Okay, so you don't have to always, as you understand, you don't always count up. You can count down. For instance, if we had, let's do countdown. Right? Countdown. If you want to count down from 10 to 1, we do countdown. Then what's the condition will be?
Plus minus?
Run it as long as
you go to 0.
This value is higher than 0. Right. What you do with this variable, instead of
Do you do plus minus?
increasing, you do
Minus.
decreasing.
Minus. Okay.
So it's same as before. Now we can do like, let's do countdown. Let's run it. So the first loop, you see, it ran from 1 to 10, and the second loop ran from 10 to 1.
But why did it go up first? Because we don't have a.
Because we still have this. This code is still executing, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We can count it out. So let's summarize. We learned about for loop. Which consists of 3 parts. First part is called initializer, where you initialize your counter variable. The next part is called condition. It's where the condition is evaluated to be false or true. So if it's true, then it's going to the program will execute anything after for. And the last part is iterator, where you change the value of the counter. Right?
Yep.
But the main thing here is what? Is condition. Remember that the while loop we had is var c console. Stop. So this is initial loop, which is not a counter loop, but conditional loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you rewrite this loop using for?
Okay, I'll try. Okay, so I'll just go down here, and so I have to start with for. And the first thing in the for loop is the initializer, so it declares a counter variable and assign initial value. So for here, the var c equals console readline. So var c equal console readline. Oh, you do that. Yeah, you separate with semicolon. And then the next one is the condition. So the loop runs as long as the condition is true. And here the condition, so while c does not equal stop, so c not equal to stop, and separate with the semicolon. And then the last part is the iterator. In this part the counter is changing the value, so since we're not doing a counter, we're not adding, so you just change the value by doing c equal console readline. Readline.
Okay, and now you need to
Console write line c. Write that after. Don't you separate with the semicolon?
No. So you have two semicolons, right? One and two.
Okay.
Now
Console.
do on the next line because
Okay.
after.
Like that?
No, what you
Oops.
what are you printing?
C.
See.
Like that?
Now let's count this out.
And then do I count this
Yeah,
out?
they should remove this one.
Okay, so I erase this too. Okay. Now do I run it? Oh no.
You see what it does?
Expected.
It should be equal.
Oh, equal has to be connected to the exclamation point? Like that?
Right.
Okay.
Run again.
And then I type something. Let's start. Stop. And it stopped. Okay, that's it for today. Code with Camilla. Come back next week for more videos.